Minnehaha County Commission. We'll go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to remind everyone that meeting documents are available for review, supposedly next to, we've got them. Yeah, they'll be next to Commissioner Heiberger in a second. Yep. And please silence your cell phone. And Carol's here if you need a listening device. So that takes us to routine business. The first item would be to consider a motion to remove item 13, an item to consider a resolution to establish new fees for highway access permits for the agenda.
That's my motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Barr,
Aye.
Benega,
Aye.
Heiberger,
Aye.
Karski,
Aye.
Bender.
Aye, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Next item would be a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Benega,
Aye.
Heiberger,
Aye.
Karski,
Aye.
Barr,
Aye.
Bender.
Aye, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Next item is to approve the commission meeting minutes for November 24th, 2020.
Approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Heiberger,
Aye.
Karski,
Aye.
Barr,
Aye.
Benega,
Aye.
Bender.
Aye, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Next item is bills to be paid in the amount of $1,094,301.23.
Pay the bills.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any comments this morning? All right. Roll call vote, please.
Karski,
Aye.
Barr,
Aye.
Benega,
Aye.
Heiberger, Bender.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. I'd call your attention to a couple of reports. We have one for the mobile crisis team. The report is always really interesting to me and shows what a great job that team does for Minnehaha County residents. And the next item is the coroner report, which is also interesting, but in a little more morbid sense. So anyway, that takes us to item 5, personnel actions. I'd consider a motion to approve the routine personnel actions.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Barr,
Aye.
Benega,
Aye.
Heiberger,
Aye.
Karski,
Aye.
Bender.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. That takes us to item B, to recognize significant employee anniversaries. Carrie Deaver, good morning.
Good morning. Somewhat of a unique list for you this morning. Everybody here on the list is celebrating 10 years of service. We have Abby Raisler in the State's Attorney's Office, Monty Wadenbach in IT, Dan Christensen in the Sheriff's Office, and Jesse Nessheim in the museum. And I don't think we have anyone with us today, but 40 years of service between them.
Amazing. Lots of contributions to our counties, and thank you.
Indeed. The next item I have is to record the volunteers and county departments for November of 2020. And we had 179 volunteers in several areas, including Safe Home, the Sheriff's Office, Highway, Public Defender's Office, Emergency Management, JDC, and then the Siouxland Heritage Museums as well. So gratitude to all of those individuals who help us out each month.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much. All right, that takes us to item 6, abatements. There are none. Item 7, notices and requests. There are none. Item 8, planning and zoning notices. There are none. Item 9, petition for compromise of lien. There are none. So that takes us to opportunity for public comment. Is there anyone here for public comment this morning? Seeing none, go to our regular business. Item 10 is a public hearing and second reading to consider vacation of statutory right-of-way 20-01. Kevin Hookman, good morning.
Kevin Hookman, County Planning Department. As you just noted, this is a petition for a road vacation. The petitioner is the County Highway Department, and is to vacate a portion of County Highway 137, which is 470th Avenue. The highway was reconstructed recently and reconstructed around an existing church and parking lot. And this road vacation allows that the church and the parking lot can stay where it's at in this portion that was once right away. Previously, there was other parking in the south, and that was removed as part of the reconstruction project. The legal description has been provided as part of the resolution. And there's an exhibit that would go with that legal description. South Dakota Codified Law 3136 states upon presenting a petition of 2 or more voters of the township, the Board of County Commissioners in the county may vacate, change, or locate any highway if the public interest will be better served by the request, and staff finds the public would be better served by such petition, and recommends approval of the proposed road vacation 2001. And I'm here for any questions.
Are there any questions for Kevin this morning? Commissioner Heiberger.
Just a comment that this was a group of a lot of people that worked together to make this work with the landowners locally and everything. And I live out north of Sioux Falls, and so I've driven by it. It looks really nice. I mean, I know you guys don't probably get out that direction, but it looks really nice. They did a great job of, it just looks nice, and it's an easy drive. So great improvement in safety.
Thank you. All right, anything else? All right, so this is a public hearing. The proponents may speak if they want to, if they're present. Somebody in favor of this vacation? A proponent?
Well, I'm in favor, yes, I just want to have a comment on it.
Okay.
If possible.
That'd be fine if you want to speak in favor of it. That's what we were,
No, I'm one landowner.
okay?
Okay, and
You need to come to the mic and introduce and identify yourself, your name and your address, please.
my name is Marlon Visser, okay? And I'm fine with it. I mean, the church is on the corner of our farm, okay? And the road, they did a wonderful job too. I'm all great with that too. Only thing I have is, I believe the church would also appreciate this too, is they did remove fence lines and everything, you know, delineating where our end of our property is. Now with the vacation, we're actually going to gain a little property, quite frankly, you know, okay? But I would like to have, I'd like to know where it ends, okay? There is a ditch and everything like that. I'd love to have a new fence put in, at least to the end of where the construction went, if that would be possible.
Well, all we're here today to talk about is the vacation. So if you'd like to visit with somebody about getting a new fence, then I'd
What's
have you probably,
appropriate in this
I'd
type of
probably
thing?
have you talk to the highway department to see about that. DJ Boothie and Craig or Carol can get you his contact information
Okay.
at this meeting.
Okay. What's appropriate in something like that is when they remove something like that, a fence like that, isn't it appropriate to also put one?
I would have you talk to the highway department. I don't know that for sure.
Okay.
I mean, you did get additional land.
Yeah,
And so
I have no issue in
we'll
that,
have to
and-
work out something that's fair.
And I'm glad they did what they did, because it was a dangerous corner. It really was, you know, so, no, I have no problem with it. You know,
Okay.
I just wanted to know that. Okay.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
All right, thank you.
Is there anyone else here who would like to speak as a proponent in favor of the vacation? All right, is there anyone here who would like to speak opposed to the vacation? Anybody here wants to speak against this item? All right, so then we don't need a rebuttal to the opposition. Are there any other comments or questions from the commissioners?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Benega. Aye. Hiberger. Aye. Karski.
Aye.
Barth.
Aye.
Bender.
Aye, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, that takes us to item 11, another public hearing and second reading to consider the vacation of statutory right-of-way 20-02. Kevin?
Yes, item 11, this is another road vacation in a similar kind of realm. Petition was received by the property owner, and it's to vacate portions of highways 137 and 126. That's at the corner there. Long ago, the highway was constructed to have a curve, so the people driving along it would not have to stop at the intersection. In 2011, the curve was reconstructed into just the T intersection. The farmer has already regraded and replanted this section of land, and by vacating this allows for future redevelopment even into the city of Crooks possibly at a later date. The staff has reviewed this petition as well and has worked with the highway department to maintain the adequate width of the highway in both directions. And we recommend approval of the road vacation 2002. The county planning, or the county commission can take action to approve or deny the request as described.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions for Kevin? The proponents, if there's anybody here who wants to speak as a proponent of this, it's your opportunity. Is there anyone here who's opposed to this item? All right, seeing none, I'd entertain a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Hiberger,
Aye.
Karski, Barth,
I think that was an aye.
Benega,
Aye.
Bender.
Aye. All right, motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everyone. All right, that takes us to item 12, which is to consider a resolution to appoint the Minnehaha County Auditor. Carol Muller.
Thank you, Commissioners. Carol Muller, Commission Administrative Officer, and before you today is the intent to consider appointment of Minnehaha County Auditor, and the action requested is to adopt the resolution. For your consideration, a resolution appointing Bennett Kite as Minnehaha County Auditor is presented to you. This appointment will complete the existing term of Bob Litz, who has announced his retirement effective December 31st, 2020. And this term will expire by the first Monday of March 2023. This consideration is brought forward after a search process where the commission interviewed 4 candidates. Bennett Kite was employed by Citibank for 37 years, most recently serving in senior finance leadership roles. I would stand by for any questions, and I would also share that Mr. Kite is here too, if you have any questions for him.
Any questions? I think I'll take a motion and then invite Mr. Kite forward to give some
I would
comments.
move, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I would move for approval of the appointment of Ben Kite as Minnehaha County Auditor.
Second?
Motion and a second. Comments? Commissioner Benega.
I think when we started this process, and frankly, a number of weeks ago now, we put together a checklist of all the things that we were looking for in the next leader of that particular department. And we were, I'd say, blessed to be able to have all those checks in place and available for the leadership of that program for at least the next 2 years and hopefully longer.
Anyone else? All right. Roll call vote, please.
Karski. Aye. Barth,
Aye.
Benega,
Aye.
Hiberger,
Aye.
Bender.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. I'd invite Mr. Kite to come forward. Congratulations. I feel like we should clap.
Anyway, Ben Kite, Sioux Falls. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak this morning. I want to show my appreciation for the commission and your trust and confidence in me to be able to perform duties of the auditor staff, along with the auditor staff. I'm really looking forward to this. I know this, working with the commission, working with the auditor staff. I understand we have a great staff down there, and I think we can do some wonderful things for the citizens of Minnehaha County. So thank you again.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for coming here this morning. I'd echo Commissioner Benneger's comments. I think we're all we're thrilled to have you join our team, and we expect great things. And I think we have a justified reason to be very optimistic about the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. That takes us to item 14. Consider a motion to approve the 2021 wine and cider renewal application for MAS LLC, DBA The Riviera by Rocos. Olivia.
Morning.
Morning.
MAS LLC DBA The Riviera by Rocco's, they submitted their application late, so instead of being brought forward last week with everybody else, we're just doing it today. They haven't had any violations, and there were no concerns reported by the Sheriff's Office, Planning and Zoning, or State's Attorney's Office, so I just look for your approval on this item.
Any questions or comments?
Move approval.
Second?
Motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Barth,
Aye.
Benega,
Aye.
Hiberger,
Aye.
Karski,
Aye.
Bender.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. That takes us to item 15, which is to authorize the chair to sign a change order with J.E. Dunn for north frontage improvements. Carol Muller.
Good morning, Commissioners. Carol Muller, Commission Office. Before you today is a request to authorize the chairperson to sign a change order with J.E. Dunn for north frontage improvements. On October 27th of this year, you authorized an OAT, which is an OAT is an owner authorized transfer, which means that it's coming out of their contingency dollars. Those haven't not all been spent. For $520,000 with J.E. Dunn for remediation in the event of a heavy rain event and preventing water from entering the jail entrance on 4th Street. The attached OAT is for an additional $59,573.28 for this project. Revisions to the proposed pumping system are required in order to accommodate existing site utilities. And these revisions will just allow for the proper connection to the city's storm drain system. So for that, I would request authorization for the chairperson to sign this.
Any questions? I'd just say that, you know, we don't ever like to bring these kinds of things forward, but the jail process did work exceedingly well, and this is the reason that you have contingency, is to deal with unexpected situations like this. And so we're still under budget. We still have a great new jail facility, and I would recommend this for approval.
That would be my motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? Roll call vote, please.
Benega?
Aye.
Hiberger?
Aye.
Karski? Barth?
Aye.
Bender?
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. I think after we get off of Zoom, we all have to vote with our hands in the air like Commissioner Barth does. I really like that. So, all right, item 16, consider motion to declare 8 hours of holiday pay benefit instead of 4 hours on December 24th. Carol Muller.
Thank you, Commissioner. The Minnehaha County Employee Handbook states that county offices which operate on a standard business week schedule will close at 12 noon on Christmas Eve day. Therefore, employees receive 4 hours of holiday for Christmas Eve. For 2020, we're bringing forward to you the option that Christmas Eve falls on a Thursday, Friday being Christmas Day and would be off. In recognition that 2020 has been a very challenging year for everybody that's out there, is recognition, consideration of that, to make that a full day of holiday for Christmas Eve.
Comments, questions? Commissioner Benega.
I believe the governor has already recommended that change as far as the state employees, and since so many of our departments are hooked to the state IT system, I think that it would be appropriate for us to do the same. And obviously, the COVID-19 thing has been a challenge for everybody in the county, so I'd be supportive of that.
I would agree. I mean, I don't think people realize that county employees don't even get a gift certificate for a cup of coffee, you know, as any kind of Christmas recognition or any end of the year recognition. And so I think this is a relatively small thing for us to do to recognize all the additional effort that everybody has put into this year. I kind of said jokingly before the meeting started that, you know, here it is, we made it to December 1st, everyone, and I think there were days back in March and April where it seemed like this year would never come to an end. And there'll be challenges in 2021 too, but I think this is a small way to recognize the extraordinary effort that a lot of our employees have put forward this year. We didn't have one day where we shut down and provided no services to citizens in Minnehaha County. I think we had extraordinary effort this year. So, all right. If there are no other comments or questions, I would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Hiberger?
Aye.
Karski? Barth?
Aye.
Benega?
Aye.
Bender?
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. And that takes us to item 17, which is to consider a motion to eliminate 5 commission meeting dates in the first quarter of 2021. Carol Muller.
Thank you. The Minnehaha County Commission meets weekly, except with a rare time when there are elections on that Tuesday. You don't meet then, or when your state association meeting is in September. Given the recognition that meetings and group gatherings support the spread of COVID, for your consideration, we propose to eliminate the second meeting of January, February, March, and April, along with the 5th Tuesday of March. The proposal to set dates now will allow staff to better coordinate bills and any future items that will come before you during these months. We double-checked with department heads. This allows us to maintain the same process that we have for hearings, for planning and zoning, without making life more difficult for anybody. So with that, would be that proposal.
Any questions for Carol? I know we had a chance to briefly talk about this a few weeks ago. Commissioner Heiberger.
Just a comment on it. You know, we've talked about this for probably the whole 10 years that I've been here off and on. I think it's a great idea, not only for the COVID, but it gives our staff an extra Tuesday. When they're preparing the agendas that we do every week, it takes a tremendous amount of time for them. 3 of those Tuesdays are during the legislative session. We're also extremely busy during the legislative session, and I don't see this year being any different, maybe more critical and difficult because of COVID and some of the some of the bills that passed this year. So I see this as helping more than just the COVID, but helping our whole staff to try to maintain the work that we do. So I'm very supportive.
You make a great point that even though we won't be meeting in person, the work of the commission and the county will go on. It will allow us to reallocate resources to critical needs and to hopefully affect COVID and do our part to have fewer gatherings. So I'm supportive of it. I think it will be a good opportunity for us to show some leadership in that area as well. All right. Any other comments or questions? I'd consider a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. That takes us to item 18, liaison reports. Are there liaison reports this morning? Commissioner Heiberger.
I have a quick one. Yesterday, I did a phone call with the National Association of County Commissioners, agency that they hire to interview people who are involved with the criminal justice side of NACO, just to see what we're doing in our county, and then also what type of resources that NACO could do to enhance the work that we're doing. It was kind of a fun conversation. I didn't have a lot of things. I said NACO has been really good in supporting us. We've got a lot of our connections and grants through NACO connections. But they said if we need assistance in the future with technical assistance or anything, just to reach out. So I do have people to reach out to if we feel like we're missing something. But NACO's there to stand behind us.
Thank you. Commissioner Karski.
On Thursday, there's going to be a major announcement regarding the link, our triage center. It'll be at noon. There's a website for the link. I'd encourage everybody to check it out. I think it's very well done. The city IT worked to construct that, so thank you to them. But this announcement on Thursday is going to be a great example of local business partners that are coming together to help government and the hospitals really put together a facility that's going to benefit our entire community. So Thursday at noon, stay tuned and check it out.
It's all very exciting to see that process moving forward. So, others? I would just mention that Commissioner Heiberger and I were on a legislative call this morning. It's another Zoom call, meeting that used to be in person with our local legislators. It's a great opportunity for City of Sioux Falls and other local cities in Minnehaha County, as well as county officials, to meet with our local legislators and talk through some of our priorities for the legislative session and listen to them a little bit about what they're working on. It will undoubtedly be a very busy legislative session for them, and we're very appreciative for the work and the sacrifices those folks make on behalf of everyone in the state of South Dakota to address pressing issues for all of us. So it was a good opportunity to share a little bit. Anything else? All right, any new business? We know we're in December because Commissioner Karski started to wear his Christmas ties. So
Exactly.
That's new business. Any old business? All right, if not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Barth,
Aye.
Benega. Hiberger,
Aye.
Karski,
Aye.
Bender.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everyone.